subject is the Bermuda Triangle. You all hear about it, Nahon? There is anyone that didn't hear about it? You didn't hear about the Bermuda Triangle? Okay. So for line all I have to do.
It's not short.
So what is the Bermuda Triangle? The Bermuda Triangle, we all heard about it. There is many accidents happen there. Not only accident, they're very strange accident. The accident that ever appeared in that triangle, and I'm going to get to the area, none of those accidents, no life being found after that. That means there is no signs. After that, nothing. There is no trace to those accidents. It's very funny accident happened there. Not only funny, they're very strange accident. If you see now what's happened, it's mind-boggling. Where is the Bermuda Triangle? The Bermuda Triangle is in the Atlantic Ocean. On the north, it's the Bermuda Island. In the south is Puerto Rico. On the east is Florida. There is an area that it looks like a triangle, and the size of that triangle, it's 1 million square kilometer. I repeat, 1 million square kilometer. That's the Bermuda Triangle. You know, when they tell you about it, you think it's a very small area in Hon. No, it's 1 million square meter. That's in the Atlantic Ocean. Huh? 1 million square kilometer. Square kilometer. Okay? That's in the Atlantic Ocean. I would like to bring two famous accidents that happened. The first one happened in March 1918. A battleship, American battleship, in the name of USS Cyclops, with 309 members, crew members that was on that ship, sailed from the Barbados Island, that's in the Atlantic Ocean, and suddenly any contact that was with that battleship disappeared, cut off. And the 309 sailors that was on that crew, not all of them obviously sailor, there is some of them cook and everything, whatever you need, but 309 crew member disappear with the ship. They've never been found. By the way, that was the biggest and the ever lost of the American Navy without any war. The biggest loss.
But sometimes they disappear without the ship is still there.
Not in the Bermuda Triangle. Not that. I never heard about it. I've done a lot of research, not that. In 1945, listen to that. 1945, five America's bombers that flew over the triangle, the Bermuda Triangle, disappear, just gone. That flight called flight number 19, if you remember. Flight number 19, 5 bombers disappear. But just before they lost them, the captain of that 5 bombers managed to send a signal that all the campers in his airplane going ballistic. They're just turning. They're just playing. They do whatever they want. They didn't know what's happened. And then they lost any contact with those 5 bombers. That's called flight number 19. In the same time, Americans sent 2 big, huge cargo airplanes to search for them. And these 2 also disappear and not traced. This is the 2 famous ones that we all heard about them. There's many other accidents that happened not long ago, but I'm talking about famous accident that happened in the Bermuda Triangle. Yes, Lionel?
It happened in this country as well.
In this country?
No, that was different.
No, in this country I don't think the thing disappeared. Maybe they hit a stone, they hit a big rock.
Up, they were carrying explosives.
Yeah.
But there is one. There was a SA plane from PE to East London.
That's right. That's the one.
Disappeared.
How many years ago?
In the 70s, early
In the 50s, early 60s. Okay, I didn't know about it.
And the other one is the money's disappeared in Zuma's pocket.
That's not a joke.
Okay, so we see from here that there is something very strange about the Bermuda Triangle. You have to agree.
Yeah.
309 member of the crew disappeared just like this. It's not normal. One at least survived. 5 bombers, American bombers, disappear. You can't find them. Then another 2 huge big Hercules. It's even bigger than a Hercules that gone to search for them. They couldn't find them. By the way, the member of that crew, I think that was 19 in total for the 5 bombers and the 2 big cargo airplane that gone to search for them. All of them was 19 crew members that disappeared. That's the biggest accident. So there's something strange about the Bermuda Triangle. Now I'm going to go to statistic what's happening with the Bermuda Triangle. According to some opinion today, the amount of accident that happened in the last 500 years in the Bermuda Triangle, it's between 200 to 1,000. That's one opinion. Howard Rosenberg said in 1973, just in 1973, he done a research on it. He found out that 8,000 distress calls came to U.S. Coast Guard. That means the American Coast Guard have 8,000 distress calls just around the Bermuda Triangle. So from here we see there's a lot of problem there. What is the scientist say? Let's start with science and then we'll get to our Holy Torah. So we know the scientists today say that's given many reasons. But the most common reason, what's happening in the Bermuda Triangle, and that's the famous opinion that most of the scientists will agree to it, that there is electromagnetic field under the sea, in the bottom of the sea, in that triangle in the Atlantic Ocean, that's called the Bermuda Triangle. By the way, there is another name for it. It's called the Saturn Triangle. The devil triangle, the Saturn, the Satan. Okay? So we know that there is a problem here. There is electromagnetic field under the sea, in the bottom of the sea. And things disappear. So we can understand. So if you fly too low, if you go over that, the electromagnetic just suck you down. That's what many of the scientists agree. Now, with your permission, I'm going to read you a Gemara, just the word that speak about it, in Gemara, famous Gemara, Masechet Brachot. You all done, I'm sure, Masechet Brachot. But if you look at Rashi speak about it. Rashi, in a Gemara Masechet Brachot, page 8, folio 1. Okay? And הדיבור המתחיל כי פיטורי בפי ושת. Rashi explained. By the way, just to give you a bit of a knowledge, Rashi, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki. Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki, Rashi, born in the north of France, in a city of Troyes. Okay? You know how many years ago? 977. For us to understand, let's round it 1,000 years ago almost. You agree with me? Almost 1,000 years ago. Rashi. And let's see how Rashi explained that. Rashi said, Yama Okeanos, the sea of the ocean. Okay? He called it Yama Okeanos. That means the ocean. יש בו מקומות שאינו מקבל ברזל. That means that there is in the ocean a place that no metal can go over it. It just been observed. So to solve that problem, what did Rashi say? So how can you ship or sail over that area? Now we're talking about 1,000 years ago almost, 977. Rashi said, ומחברים לוחי הספינה. Well, you want to build a ship. You want to pass on that triangle, that area. He doesn't say triangle. He said that area. What do? You take a board, wooden board, and you join them together. Now Rashi going to explain how to join them together. It's not so simple. ומחברים לוחי הספינה על ידי חבלים ועקלים שתוחבים בין קוויו ותוקעים אותו בדוחק לפי שהם גסים כמידת הנקב. I'll explain. If you want to be able to go over that area in the ocean that no steel can go, that means that there is magnet underneath in the bottom of the sea, electromagnetic field, how do you solve the problem? You build a ship from wood. But how do you build a ship with wood that cannot penetrate water inside? Very simple. You take wood, those boards, you make special holes, and with them you put a very wide rope, and you have to force it with such a power that the rope not going to allow water to penetrate into the ship, and that's how you join the board. Not only that, there is a special a tunnel groove that it's fit together, that have to be. And that's what he say, Havalim ve'akalim shetohovim benekavav. Benekavav, it's in the holes, that we have to fit it together. So if you want to pass in the ocean through that area, you have to go with a wooden ship. You can't go with a metal ship. That's 1,000 years ago. And that's only Rashi, Rishon. Sorry, Stephen?
During that time, they weren't traveling. Europeans were traveling to that area.
Okay, so I'm going to get to it now. Columbus, that the famous Columbus, that in a modern scientist, he found America, although he didn't find America, because I'm going to prove that he didn't know about America. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai already tell us 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago almost. Columbus found America because he gone from one area and then he realized that the world is round, nachon? So he realized, and they call it America, found America. That was 500 years ago, a bit less. Rashi, that lived 977 years ago, almost 1,000 years ago, come and tell you, for me, this is Mickey Mouse. I know that there is in the ocean a place that it's electromagnetic in the bottom of the sea. What are you talking to me about America? The Zohar tell us, the Zohar been written by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was a Tanai, a sage. And in the Zohar he say that the world is round. That's 2,000 years ago, 2,200 years ago. Not only that, he said that in one place it will be day, that means in one area will be day, and in another country it will be night. Do you understand? So all what the scientists find now, it's old news for our sage, for the Jewish religion. Never mind, that's our sages. What about our prophets? What about Avraham Avinu, Moshe Rabbeinu that wrote the Torah? They knew it all. So what news are you telling me? By the way, Rashi here speak in this Gemara, he speak about, the Gemara speak about a sickness that come from breeding. It's a breeding sickness. So it's called, I wrote it, is respiratory problem. Am I right? There is such thing. Am I right? People suffer from that. So Rashi there explained that if you want to understand, there is a mahala that Hazal call it askara, lo alena, that you can't breathe. You're battling to breathe. There's here 2 doctors, so it's good. So it's so difficult for a human being to breathe. And that time, just remember, they didn't have all the machinery that we have today, all the breather, the analyzer. They don't have all of that. So I tell you how difficult. It's so difficult to same like push that rope through those holes that the person can't breathe. Why? Because the rope has to be such a size that when you push it and you join the board together to build the ship, not one drop of water allowed to penetrate in. Otherwise, the boat will sink. So let's stop here for a second and let's try to analyze what's happening. About 1,000 years ago, we have a scientist here, he can help us. I don't think that they have all of those machinery, נכון? To find out.
But they had compasses and those stuff.
Compass, but they didn't have anything to find if there is magnets.
They know today as geological displacements, two plates moving and at depth, which give off a displacement, and the axis of the world just moves half a degree.
Okay, but they couldn't work it out in those days.
No,
They didn't have machinery.
No,
They didn't have a submarine to go under. So how did Rashi, that wrote commentary on the Torah, in a modern world we'll call him a square-minded Has v'Shalom, but I'm just saying, that he sit and he learned, he wrote commentary on the written Torah and the oral Torah. How did he knew about it? Did you ask yourself? The Gemara that had been written 2,000 years ago by our sages, you think that they didn't know? If Rashi brought us that example, what did Moshe Rabbeinu knew? So I'll tell you one thing. There is Midrash Rabbah on Sefer Bereshit. And Midrash Rabbah say like this. Leka mide de lo remiza beoraita. What does it mean? There is nothing, Rabotai, I repeat, nothing that not been mentioned in our Holy Torah.
that's correct.
How many of you here done Daf Yomi? Gemara Masechet. You done it, nachon? Did you knew about it in Gemara in Brachot, Het Amud Aleph? That's mean 8 folio 1. No. Why? Tell you what's the difference. That when you learn in depth, that's the difference. Not Has v'Shalom, Has v'Shalom. I'm not have 1 second that I don't appreciate those that learning Daf Yomi. I have the most out respect for them. But if you want to understand how our sages knew, you have to learn with depth. With depth. You have to read Rashi, you have to read Tosfot, you have to read Maharsha. Without them, you can't even find. Every time that I learn one of those sugyot that I bring to you, I tell you, it's a mind-boggling for me.
But Rabbi, you remember that this guy gave you, which shows mathematically that everything's in the Torah using gematria.
I'm not saying no, but wait. I'm not talking, you're a bit more Talmid Chochem, wait. You have more emunah. You take those that tell you in Israel, that laugh on the religious people. You know, Baruch Hashem here in South Africa, we don't have it. But there's many people that, I'm talking about the lefties, if you understand what I'm saying. He wear a kippah, he laugh on him. Why do you laugh on him? Do you know his knowledge? You know the page of Gemara that he finished. What he knows, you don't even have a knowledge. You ask many people of those lefties, come, let's talk about sign. What are you talking to me about? You understand? That's the answer.
Or naive.
I don't know if they're naive. I think that they, and simply, I don't know how to describe them, they're anti. Maybe that's the right word. Because for them, a person that wear a yami is from the stone day. We're stupid. But we don't look at them like this. We respect them, we have honor for them, but they obviously think about us differently. But why am I doing those showing? Because I know it's going to go all over the world, please God. It's just to show those people that our sages, before you even joke about him, we have to look at our Gemarot to understand what Chokhmah there is in our Torah. As many people run to the Far East. The famous Chinese philosophic, you know what he said? Our Torah tells us, Ezehu hacham. Who's a hacham? Who's the smart? Alomed mikol adam. Then the Mishnah in Avot say, Ezehu ha'ashir. Who is the rich man? Our sages say, Hasameach behelko. He's happy with what he has. He doesn't want more. You know what the Chinese say? A person that doesn't have nothing, that is a poor person. A person that's happy with what he have, he never have faribol. He's happy. He have 10 rand, he's happy. He have a house, he's happy. He doesn't need the luxury. He doesn't need the yacht. Doesn't need the holiday house. Doesn't need that. Doesn't need that. He's happy. So why is he going to have faribol? Doesn't speak Lashon Hara because he's happy. He's not bitter. Do you understand? And they come and they try to be more clever than the Asian religion and tell us that the person that is poor. You understand? And there's many people run to the Far East and follow this nonsense. And sitting outside and see this constipated, permanent constipated one, and they bow down to him and light incense to him. The permanent constipated one. Do you understand? I don't understand that. Okay, let's say, Rabotai, just for a second, you're laughing, but let's say, if it's really what you think, that he is protecting you, how come that the wood constipated one, they live outside? The gold one, they live inside. What kind of a God he is? Who is he guarding? You have to guard him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell us, and that's what's happened with Onkelus Ager. Onkelus, that when they took him, remember? So he kissed the mezuzah. So the soldier asked him, what are you doing? He said, you're working for a king. I have a king that protects me, giving me the mezuzah. They listened to him, converted. Rabbi Yehuda and Antoninos was good friend. Antoninos gives Rabbi Yehuda once a present, a very, very expensive diamond stone. So Rabbi Yehuda Nasi sent them a mezuzah. So he didn't understand. What, you sending me a mezuzah? I send you such expensive stone. He said, you send me a stone that I need to guard it. I need to protect it. I send you a mezuzah that will guard you. Do you understand the difference? That's our religious. If we just focus on our religion, Rabotai, where will we be today? HaKadosh Baruch Hu just waiting for us to learn His Torah, to focus. And Be'ezrat Hashem, if we learn that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give us strength and merit to learn Torah, to teach Torah, and then He'll send us, Mashiach Titkenu b'mera be'amenu, amen, ken yeh ratzon.